Let's see that as Pakistan and Afghan Taliban meet for a crucial third round of talks in Istanbul, tensions remain high along the Chaman bin Buldak border. Islamabad has declared its security demands non-negotiable, while the Taliban leadership has urged its negotiators to keep commitments realistic. The latest flare-up at the border, leaving at least 2 dead, casts a shadow over the dialogue aimed at easing cross-border friction and restoring trust. For more on this, we have with us defense expert, Brigadier retired Masood Ahmed Khan. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Masood. So, how significant is Pakistan's stance of keeping its security demands non-negotiable for the outcome of these talks?
Thanks for having me. And most importantly, as far as Pakistan is concerned, there will be no compromise on its sovereignty, its territorial integrity. As far as Pakistan's stance is concerned, it is clear and it is justified. Pakistan wants that a verifiable mechanism to be in place to monitor the commitment, if made by the Afghan Taliban regime along the western borders. Secondly, we also demand Afghan Taliban regime to ensure that Afghan soil is not used by these terrorists for cross-border terrorism. And we also expect Afghan Taliban regime to arrest and hand over the so-called leaders sheltered by Afghan Taliban regime to Pakistan. And certainly we also expect Afghan Taliban regime to cut off or discontinue the logistics support which they are providing to these terrorists operating inside Afghanistan. So our stance is very clear and justified, and there will be no compromise as far as our justified demands are concerned.
What impact could the recent border clashes at Chaman crossing have on the tone and trust level of negotiations in Istanbul?
Certainly, this was a ceasefire violation, and it was an unprovoked ceasefire violation by Afghan Taliban regime forces when one of firing at the frontier corps post along the Chaman border. Pakistan responded with responsibility, although our response was swift, but we are still maintaining the situation is under control. We are maintaining the ceasefire, but most importantly, both countries must look for the spoilers within Afghanistan. Mainly the spoilers are within the Afghan Taliban regime and the sympathizers for India. And also recently we have observed basically the social media accounts and where it was we noticed that it was basically in the synchronization of Afghan media accounts as well as the Indian media in the social media accounts. So they can resort to propaganda and they can create misunderstanding. So that is a serious, could be a spoiling effort by the Indians as well as the rogue elements within the Afghan Taliban regime.
Do you see any middle ground emerging between Pakistan's security concerns and the Taliban's insistence on realistic commitments?
There is already a middle ground. We are talking to Afghan Taliban regime. We are part of dialogue. And then we are expecting to have some mechanism after the conclusion of these talks. And Afghan Taliban regime also realized that the security concerns of Pakistan when they returned to these talks on 25th October. So that was the realization of our concerns. So it is not mainly depends on Afghan Taliban regime. We are maintaining the ceasefire along the western borders, but that is conditional as far as Pakistan is concerned. If anything happens or any attack originates from Afghanistan, or it is established that it is linked inside Afghanistan, certainly then Pakistan reserves the right to respond in that case.
And referring to what you just stated in your last statement, that what Pakistan might do in such a situation, let's say hypothetically, if there is no outcome even after these round of talks, what might be the situation in the region and how would Pakistan react or act in that situation?
Certainly, we have made it very clear number of times. We will not compromise as far as the security is concerned. If things are established, we have given, as Anas was reporting, that we have given already the irrefutable evidence of the presence of these terrorist organizations, Fitnul Hindustan, Fitnul Farij, and others operating inside Afghanistan, sheltered by Afghan Taliban regime, and they are providing logistic. And recently, they are trying to relocate them to within these cities. And so our stance is very clear. So anything happening from Afghanistan, so we will not stay silent. We will respond. And as we have shown recently, our capabilities, the capabilities of the armed forces of Pakistan, and the resolve of the people of Pakistan. And most importantly, let's understand it that if we can shatter the so-called pride of India in 4 days, the Afghan Taliban regimes will stand nowhere.